Good afternoon. Today's new topic, that is compressor inlet screen. So we'll discuss this topic today. So now, first of all, the purpose of compressor inlet screen. Purpose of compressor inlet screen is to prevent engine from readily ingesting any item that can be drawn in the air intake. Compressor air inlet screen is sometimes placed across the engine air inlet at some location along the inlet duct. Engine that incorporates inlet screen such as turboprop, APUs and helicopters. These three type of engines are using this air inlet screen. Rest all engine is not using this compressor inlet screens. See, purpose already I told you. So this screen, there's it will be prevent the FOD, ingestion of any FOD or ice also at high altitude or at increment weather. So it will prevent that ice, debris, foreign object damage to enter in the compressor. So advantage and disadvantage of screen is varying. If the engine is readily subjected to internal damage, as would be case of our engine having an axial flow compressor fitted with aluminum blade, and inlet screen is almost necessary, because compressor is fitted with aluminum blade, a little bit debris or any even ice also, it will damage the compressor blade. It will create a fatal in the compressor. Blade may break or it will not be function properly. So screen, however, head is appreciably to inlet duct pressure loss and are very susceptible to icing. Failure due to fatigue is also a problem. A failed screen can sometimes cause more damage than no screen at all. Instances are there that inlet screens are made retractable and may be withdrawn from the airstream after takeoff whenever icing condition prevail. Such screens are subjected to mechanical failure and add both weight and bulk to the installation. In large turbofan engines having steel or titanium compressor fan blades which do not damage easily, the disadvantage of compressor screen outweigh the advantage, so they are not generally used. Now next comes to bell mouth compressor inlets. See, bell mouth compressor inlets usually installed on engine undergoing testing in a test cell. See, wherever we are having a testing cell to test the engine, aero engines, power plant, whether it is engine belongs to helicopter or aircraft or small engine or big engine, does not matter. But that testing cell is having this bell mouth type compressor inlets, generally equipped with probes that which use of instruments and can measure intake temperature and pressure, total pressure and static pressure. At the time of testing, it is very important that outside static air is allowed to flow into the engine with a little resistance as possible. So resistance should not be more, otherwise pressure will be lost. So bell mouth is attached to a movable part of the test stand and moves with the engine. The thrust stand is made up of two components. one non-moving and one moving. This is so moving component can push against a load cell and measure thrust during the testing of the engine. Bell mouth is designed with the single objective of obtaining very high aerodynamic efficiency. The inlet is bell-shaped funnel having carefully rounded shoulder which will provide no resistance or offer practically no air resistance. Duct loss is so slight that it is considered zero. The engine can therefore be operated without complication, resulting from losses common to the installed aircraft inlet duct. Engine performance data such as rated thrust and thrust specific fuel consumption are obtained while using bell mouth inlet. See these performance data of the engine, they even you can say rather rating of the engine. So whenever we are testing the engine at different rating or you can say a different throttle angle, and we measure the thrust produced by the engine at idle RPM, max RPM, on speed RPM, maximum continuous RPM, and this rating is stated or that is taken from 0 degree of throttle opening to 10 degree throttle opening, 20 degree throttle opening, 30 degree throttle opening, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and max power. All different rating engine has to be operated, then this rating is calculated and thrust can be calculated. How much fuel is being consumed per second and how much power is being produced by the engine. Both things is be considered, even temperature of atmosphere is considered, pressure of atmosphere considered, fuel flow is considered. So all these parameters considered to calculate the thrust by putting in the thrust formula all the variables, then we can calculate the power of the engine or you can say thrust of the engine. So efficiency lost as air passes through the screen must be taken into account when very accurate engine data is necessary. So whenever we need accurate data, that time efficiency lost must be calculated. The screen must be taken into account. Otherwise, now comes to turboprop and turbosaft compressor inlet. This type of engine like turboprop and turbosaft, they are fitted with the compressor inlet. Some of them are having fixed screen and some of them having a removable screen or movable screen. Because whenever aircraft is on ground, engine is on ground, that time it is more susceptible to suck the debris or air fluid. But when you take off, that time this screen is being removed, or you can say it is being placed to safer position, so it can change the direction of the screen so that air intake is free from the screen. So now we study about turboprop and turbosaft compressor inlet, how it is in this type of engine fitted. The air inlet on turboprop is more of problem than some other gas turbine engine because propeller drive shaft, hub and spinner must be considered in addition to other inlet design factors. The ducted arrangement is generally considered the best inlet design of turboprop engine as far as airflow and aerodynamic characteristics as concerned. Inlet for many types of turboprops of are anti-iced by using electrical elements in the lip opening of the air intake. Ducting either part of engine or nacelle direct the airflow to intake of the engine. Deflector doors are sometimes used to deflect ice or dirt away from the intake. The air then passes through a screen and into its engine on some models. Conical spinner which does not allow ice to build up on a surface because shape of the spinner is like a cone. So if ice is coming and striking, it will slip off. So due to shape of this spinner, ice will not be able to be there on the spinner. It does not allow the ice to build up on the surface. It's sometimes used with the turboprop and turbofan engine. In either events, arrangement of spinner and inlet duct plays an important function in the operation and performance of the engine. Turbofan engine inlet section. High bypass turbofan engine are usually constructed with a fan at the forward end of the compressor. A typical turbofan intake section is shown in figure. You can see the figure. We don't. Okay, later on we'll show the figure also. See, front of the engine provides the airflow path into the engine. In dual compressor, dual spool engine, the fan is integral with the relatively slow turning, low pressure compressor, which allow the fan blade to rotate at low speed, low tip speed for best fan efficiency. Fan permits the use of conventional air intake, resulting in low inlet duct loss. Fan reduces engine damage from ingestion foreign material because much of material that may be ingested is thrown readily outwards and passes through the fan discharge rather than through the core of the engine. Warm bleed air is drawn from the engine and circulated on inside of the inlet lip for anti-icing. This warm air is being drawn from the engine, that is drawn from compressor last stage, that is heated air. That will be circulated on to the lip or inside of the inner lip for anti-icing purpose. This air is already hot, which is taken from the last stage of the compressor. The fan hub or spinner is either heated by warm air or is conical as mentioned earlier. The inlet by fan blade tip is a upgradable rub strip that allows the fan blade to rub for short time due to flight path changes. Also inside the inlet are sound reducing material to lower the noise generated by the fan. The fan on a high bypass engine consists of one stage of rotating blade and stationary vane that can range in diameter from less than 84 inches to more than 112 inches. Fan blade are either hollow, titanium or composite material. The air facilitated by the outer part of the fan blades form a secondary air stream which is ducted overboard without passing through the main engine. This secondary air flows produces 80% of thrust. In high bypass engine, the air that passes through the inner part of the fan blade becomes primary air stream through the engine itself. Thank you very much for watching video.